a meal in a Michelin restaurant can cost anywhere from $5 to thousands of dollars, but are these meals really so different? What's the actual difference between 1, 2 and 3-star restaurant, and how to eat in a Michelin restaurant for less than $20? My name is Garry and I'm a WCT3 qualified sommelier. Let's go. Michelin restaurants are not always as expensive as people think of them. Just look at this €29 menu in La Robe, a Michelin star restaurant in France. Like €29 or a bit more than $30 is the price of a meal in a local bistro, not in a Michelin star restaurant, right? But it's not even the cheapest option. In Tim Ho Wan restaurant in Hong Kong, you get a whole lunch for $9.90, and it's also a place which has held a Michelin star for many years. But on the other side of the spectrum, there is a restaurant Sublimotion in Ibiza, where the complete meal costs more than $2,000. And what's the secret then? And the secret is the leverage. Let me explain what I mean by that. Like, if you want a Michelin experience, you don't necessarily have to go to a Michelin star restaurant. Today, there are a lot of options to dine in a Michelin restaurant, but not in a Michelin star restaurant. There is a Bib Gourmand guide, which basically is the guide for the best value for money places to dine in the whole world. Bib Gourmand guide was introduced not as long ago as the original Michelin star guide, only in 1997. But today, Bib Gourmand is like a mark of quality. When traveling, I'm always seeking for Bib Gourmand places to dine in because Michelin stars are not as affordable, and basically there are fewer star-rated restaurants than gourmand places. The philosophy of Bib Gourmand guide is the best food possible in the average price range for a particular country. It simply means that the meal in this restaurant doesn't cost more than in another restaurant around the corner, but the food is way better in line with the Michelin guide standards. The price of a meal really depends on the country, because to dine well in Switzerland costs totally different than, say, in Thailand, but the average pricing is about $30 per person per meal. Sometimes a bit less in more expensive countries, probably a bit more expensive, but it's the basic pricing. And yeah, about the leverage, like the restaurants of this level, Bib Gourmand and covers, couverts in French, these are the little covers symbols near the name of the place in Michelin guide. A restaurant can have a maximum of 5 covers, and the more symbols there are, the better quality dining experience you'll get. So the restaurants of this basic Michelin level, like under star level, use almost no leverage. There is little to no markup for this Michelin status. It's just a nice place to dine in with high quality food, absolutely safe to eat in, but without any pathos related to a Michelin place. And for me, Bib Gourmand and covers places are the essence of Michelin philosophy, because if we go back in the days, the Michelin guide was introduced as a guide for people traveling around Europe by car, looking for a good place to eat and sleep. Because Michelin also produces car tires. 100 years ago, Michelin Journal was just a way of promoting these car tires. Doesn't it sound strange today? A 3-star restaurant promoting tires? Yeah, that's probably a bit specific. But getting back to Bib Gourmand places, it's the best bang for your buck to dine in a Michelin restaurant. And by the way, if you want to dive deeper into the world of wine, consider subscribing to my free newsletter. I'll just share my tasting experiences once a week, sometimes some travel and dining as well, and I think it's a great way to keep in touch more closely than just in comments on YouTube. And okay, if you want to dine in a Michelin-starred restaurant, here you have a vast area of 1 Michelin-star restaurants, and the official definition for these places is 1 Michelin star is awarded to restaurants using top quality ingredients where dishes with distinct flavors are prepared to a consistently high standard. Seems very similar to Bib Gourmand places, but there are a couple of huge differences. Firstly, the ingredients. For a Michelin star awarded restaurant, all the ingredients should be top-notch. Like, if it's a tomato, it should be cultivated in the backyard of the restaurant using no chemicals. If it's a chicken, it should be from the house of the restaurant owner's friend. Probably you got the idea, right? Only best quality ingredients that anyway elevate the price of the meal, because completely organic products cost like 2-3 times more than just normal quality ingredients. And secondly, 1-star places are not only about the consistency of these high standards, it's also about the fresh look at the dishes. Like 1/3 of the dishes in the course should be somehow unique. By unique, I mean here that it cannot be just a Caesar salad or a cappuccino. It should be something that you don't expect to experience in a regular restaurant. Like this menu here. It's from Terroir Urla, one Michelin star restaurant in Turkey. At first glance, it's quite balanced menu, but there are a couple of positions here that really stand out, like tortellini with red mullet, currants and saffron, or chocolate mousse with truffles. These are the dishes that are not possible to find in a regular middle price range restaurant. It's a Michelin star level already, but still preserving the prices relatively low. The whole course costs 2,900 Turkish lira, which is about 80 euros or 90 US dollars. One-star restaurants are not normally extremely expensive. The ordinary price range you should expect is about 100 US dollars per person per meal, probably a little bit more in some places, but it's still quite affordable. Because these restaurants are not meant to dine in every day, you know? Dining in a Michelin restaurant is an experience more than just eating, like getting nutrients. It's a whole event, like an opera evening or theater play. It's about 2-3 hours long normally, and it's all about enjoying the time, not just eating and getting rid of hunger. It's visual aesthetics, it's pleasure, not just from eating, but from experiences, the ambience, the serving, the wine. Normally food course comes with the wine course, which costs more or less the same as food. Do they leverage prices in one-star restaurants? Just a little bit, probably not that much, because when a restaurant gets its first star, it gets a lot more customers. Yes, probably it starts to spend a bit more on ingredients as well to deliver top quality consistently and not lose this first star, but it's almost nothing compared to the benefit it gets. So if you have $100, and I'm sure you do, one Michelin star restaurant is definitely worth visiting at least once in a lifetime. But the real game begins on 2 and 3 stars level, because it's totally different from everything we have already talked about. Michelin Guide officially defines 2-star restaurants as awarded when the personality and talent of the chef are evident in their expertly crafted dishes, and 3-star restaurant as when cooking is elevated to a form of art and some of their dishes are destined to become classics. Basically, what it all means is that food in 2 and 3-star restaurants is converted into art. It's not about high-quality ingredients anymore or the unconventional approach, it just goes without saying. The main focus here is on creating art in the form of culinary. And art is a tricky thing to price, right? Today, a painting of an artist no one knows costs no more than a canvas and oil used to paint it, and 10 years later it's being sold on auctions in Japan for 5-6 figures. Remember the Picasso story? The story goes that Pablo Picasso was dining at a restaurant when a fan approached him and asked for a quick drawing on a napkin. Picasso complied, quickly sketching something, and as he handed it over, he said, "That will be $20,000. When the fan protested, Picasso replied that it was worth just as much as one of his paintings, not because of the time it took to draw it, but because of the years of work it took to be able to draw like that." And exactly the same is with 2 and 3-star restaurants and chefs. It doesn't matter that on the plate you have only a celery stick and a couple of dill pieces. What we are paying for here is not the price of the ingredients and even not the luxurious interior of the restaurant. We pay for 30 years of mastering the chef's culinary skills to produce this form of art, which is, at a remarkable coincidence, edible. That is why there is way more leverage in this category. The same ingredients may cost not 2-3 times more like in one Michelin star restaurant, but 100 times more, just because that is not food anymore, it's a form of art. Of course, there are rather affordable 2-star restaurants like Harry's Piccolo in Italy. The main course is about 220 euros, which is not that much for 2 Michelin stars. But again, it's about the experience and not about the food anymore. You can find my social media for any inquiries or potential collaboration in the description down below. Like, comment and subscribe if you loved this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.